Okay. Says we're live.
Says we are live.
Hi, ladies.
Hi.
You can see us.
Yeah, let me know you can see and hear us okay. Let me fix this. Hello. This is so exciting. All good. Okay, good. So I always like to say this, but if like a great majority of people can see and hear us just fine, but you're having trouble, it's usually on your end. And there's no way for us to say that. It doesn't sound super rude, but it's the truth. Sometimes it's just on your end. Like there's a computer thing, try a different browser, try opening and shutting it, something like that. So,
yep.
So we're just here like 5 minutes early just to chat with you guys and stuff. See and hear us. You both look beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, we both showered today and everything for you ladies.
I was telling Kendra, was that this morning? I was like, yeah. I even like shaved my legs just because it has like been a while and I felt like, you guys just deserve the best.
Our audience deserves the best. They deserve freshly shaved legs, even though they can't even see them.
And even if you said I'm wearing jeans, it's a mindset issue.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to show off it's going to be backwards, but I got a new mug today and it says, today is your day. And I thought, today is my day. And today is also your day. Like it reminded me of our audience. It reminded me of Allie. It reminded me of me. Like today is your day.
My mug is nothing.
Day. Yeah, I could hear a bit of it. Sometimes echoes happen and I can try putting on my headphones. I look like a DJ, but
it may also just go away. Sometimes things like that just need a second.
Yeah, sometimes, and they go in and out sometimes. I don't know. It's just the audio.
Wait a second if it's still bad. I have headphones here too, just in case I need them.
Okay.
See, it's gone. Okay. Say something.
Okay. No, see, it's echoing.
I don't hear it. But
I can hear it.
They do.
I can try headphones and see if it works.
Whatever you want. I mean, this is why we get on a few minutes early. Yeah, they can still hear
it. If it doesn't, then it's just going to have to echo. I mean, sorry, guys.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Sometimes, sometimes it goes fuzzy and then it'll crisp out. Sometimes one of us sounds kind of weird for a second. But there's technology. Some things we can't control, so we do what we can.
It's part of streaming live. It's still echoing. That's really annoying.
I love those headphones. I love it when you wear them. So cute.
I feel like I should be like spinning. No, the proximity to the mic, the mic usually doesn't. I literally stay put.
Headphones helped.
Okay.
I might just put in mine just in case.
Yeah, I can't turn my mic off, guys. That's what I was trying to tell them. Like, I can't turn my mic off. People said, turn your mic off. My mic is connected to this live broadcast, so I can't go in and change it now. So.
Yeah, no.
I'm on a second glass of wine. Andy, you're my hero. Oh, you, Andy.
Woo. That's amazing. I feel like this class is just like really going to soak in for her.
Yes, for sure. And this is going to be really casual, guys. This is more laid back. There's a reason we didn't put slides in the actual class part. There's some slides at the end because we have something really big to announce and show you.
Yeah, it needs to be visual for that.
Yeah, but we wanted this to be more of a discussion. So we're going to be looking at the chat a little bit more. We can't answer tons of questions during it. There will be Q&A at the end, but we really wanted this to be almost like story-based and then action-based. So telling you some stories, listening to your stories, having you guys answer, and really just encouraging and supporting and then giving clear action steps to change it.
Yes.
Yeah, Allie has the best lip color ever.
Thanks. It's NYX Matte Pale Pink. And it's not pale. It's pretty bright.
Yeah, it's bright. I like it.
Okay, cool. Okay, well, it's almost time. So let me just make sure I'm good here. Okay.
Amber said 1 hour long. It depends. It's usually about 60 minutes. The teaching part's usually about 45 to 60 minutes. And then we have a big announcement that we've talked about over and over. And then there's going to be Q&A. So it could go 90 minutes. Sometimes it just goes about 90 minutes just with the Q&A.
Okay, it's time. You ready?
Yes, let's do this.
Okay, so yes, like we said, this class is a lot different. If you guys have been here for the ones we've done before, it's very, very different, and you'll see that. We really wanted this to be kind of like podcast style, just sitting and talking and having an important conversation. Obviously, we've taken notes and we've pre-planned it because we want to be intentional, but we just really wanted to like be in front of you guys and be talking to you guys and with you guys. I also wanted to say that the difference between, and I feel like all of our classes have this aspect, but a little bit more so this way, we have set up to where this class is like very action step packed. Like every single point we're going to make is we're going to give you an action step. You're going to want to have a journal or your notes app open on your phone, something to jot things down and take notes. I really, just to give you guys a little guide, I don't want you to feel like you have to write down everything that we say, but I would definitely, when we say, myth number 1 is write down what the myth is that we're going to talk about, maybe a few key points that really stood out to you when we were talking about that, and then we will let you know. Now, your action step is this, and then write down what the action step is, and don't do it now in the class because we're just going to be, kind of blowing past it and going right to the next step, but write it down. And then I would really, really encourage you guys to carve out time later to do the things, or at least like reflect and just kind of brainstorm and soak it in and put this into action. It's not going to do you much good to just sit here and be inspired. It'll feel great at first and kind of last for the day. But we all know that kind of like inspiration and motivation is very fleeting, and action is where things actually change.
Yeah, that's it's all well and good for us to give you all of this information, but we're all about the action. And some of this stuff is very deep. It's more transformative. That's what Allie and I call it. And you'll see that even the program that we're going to announce is more transformative. Allie and I both have like, the decluttering and the cleaning and homemaking that I talk about. That's very step by step. That is very like, do this, then do that, then do that, and you will see a result. This work is a little more on the deep end. It's a little more on the transformative end where you have to kind of dig a little bit deeper, and everybody's going to be unique. There's no step-by-step to like change your mindset of things. But we did still want to give you an action step. And a lot of the action steps you'll notice have a common theme. And a lot of them have to do with you taking time and thinking and writing some stuff out and doing some deep work, because that's where the transformation happens.
Yeah, this kind of, normally action looks like going and decluttering, going and creating a cleaning system for yourself. But this kind of action doesn't look like much action at all. It's really just about sitting and getting quiet. And maybe the actionable part comes with just making time to be alone and focus on this and like think and journal through what we're about to tell you. It's really a lot. It's pretty deep and hard hitting. But we, of course, always infuse positivity and hope. And we don't just like tell you something and then like peace out. Of course we'll walk you through it, and we're really hoping that this chat will be very interactive. It's another reason we limited the spots here at this class. After a certain amount of people, you really can't keep up with the chat at all, and we want to hear from you guys. So as we're talking about the myths, if something really jumps out at you, please put it in the chat. It really, really brings this like spirit of camaraderie to a class when other women maybe hear us say something and feel like really profoundly impacted by that, and then sees that other women are in the same boat. And that is what we want to do. We are not about just being here, showing up, talking at you guys, and then like, okay, like now we're going to leave and it's over. We want you guys to also talk and connect with one another.
Yeah. I'm just, sorry, I was just typing back to somebody who said something about like, there's a problem loading the stream. So I'm going to just say again, if you're having problems loading the stream, I also typed it in there. Try a different browser. It may be an internet issue. So just want to get that out there.
Yes.
So if you want to get started, let's get into it.
Okay, let's go. Okay, so we are talking today about the 4 myths that you've been believing about motherhood, and giving you action steps to finally free yourself with truth, and really finding what that truth is for you and yourself and your family. Our message really is that you were made for this. You were made to do this. You were made to be the mother of your kids, not your neighbor, not your best friend. You were. And so we really want to encourage you to ditch defeat and leave it behind and embrace the fact that you are enough and you are right for this. And so having said that, myth number 1, the myth that a lot of us just fall into believing and let have power over us as we act out our motherhood is, I'm not worthy of spending money on bettering myself. This comes with anything. Some people maybe think they don't have a problem with this. Like, maybe you think, oh, well, I take time every other week to like go get a manicure and like have a little quiet time, and I don't struggle with that. But what about like the gym, fitness classes, online courses, books, hobbies? Maybe you like would really, really love to do something and have something outside of being a mom to like spend your time on, something you really, really love, like quilting or something, anything. And you feel guilty spending the money on going and doing that because it's purely for your enjoyment. Maybe it's something to do with beauty or getting a higher education. It's really, really a problem. And especially for moms who don't work, maybe don't work outside of the house or don't have a business or don't even work at home or something. They're just stay at home moms. This is really, really huge, especially for them, because, and I can totally relate to that, having been a stay at home mom up until last year. It's a total lie that we tell ourselves because we feel that we're not worthy of spending money on ourselves. And whether as a stay-at-home mom, I was very like, my husband and I were on the same page. And for those of you who maybe follow me more personally, like on Instagram and stuff, you can see Brian, you can just tell how he is. He's so sweet. And we were totally in agreement that he was going to work and I was going to be at home. And that's just how we felt for this season of our lives. And, we were on the same page in agreement, but for some reason, like I think subconsciously, I kind of felt like, well, because I'm not actually contributing to bringing in money, I want to be like extra careful with how I spend it. And that's silly. And I think it's keeping us from investing in ourselves so that we can be better for our families.
Yeah, so I just saw that Ashley said, tears in my eyes, so true. See, told you guys, we're only 7 minutes in, and Allie and I are probably going to have a hard time. We're going to have a hard time like keeping it together too, because these myths came from not only what we saw with our own students, but what we saw in our own lives. And this was something that I was actually on the opposite end, where I have always been a working mom. And I say that in quotation marks because I kind of hate those words. Like every mom's a working mom. Every mom is working. You may just not work outside the home, or you may not have a business, but you're a working mom. And I still had trouble spending money on myself. I would spend my money for my business on my kids. My kids would have the nicest clothes. They would always have, like, every holiday, they would have a new fun outfit to get pictures taken. And I had like leggings from 5 years ago that had like a hole in it that I was like, I'll just stitch this up real quick. Like it was a mindset for me that I was not worthy of spending money on myself, because I was a mom now. I wasn't a woman. I was a mom, and moms don't spend money on themselves. And you will see that all of these, that came from society. That came from just this feeling that I wasn't allowed to spend money on myself. And that if I did, I would be judged. That I would be judged because then that meant that my kids weren't as important to me as they were to somebody else who spent all their money on their kids. This also happened a lot with hobbies. The place I see it the most is hobbies. Like moms who loved, like you said, quilting or knitting or sewing or going to fitness classes, like loved spin class before they had kids. And now they're like, oh, I can't spend money on that. It's too much money. And I'm like, but will it make you happy? Will it make you enjoy life more? Will it make you show up as a better mom? Yes. Then you absolutely should be spending money on it. Now, we're not telling you that you should go out and just blow your family budget on yourself, but there is such a myth around the fact that we're not worthy. And that, I think, is the real word in the sentence that we need to take note of and maybe dig into a little bit deeper, because I know Allie and I, like, that's a word that comes up to us all the time, is like not being worthy of something. And you absolutely are worthy of it. You are worthy, whether you stay at home with your 5 kids or you work outside the home or you're a single mom, you are worthy of bettering yourself in whatever way you think that that needs to happen.
Yeah. And I want to say, like, I just want to paint a picture really quick. Imagine that, you're the mom of your kids, and you are maybe going somewhere where there's other moms. And let's just say that, just imagine for a second that you're in a place where you have, within your budget, you have prioritized your self-care, and you've invested in things that make you feel like an amazing and capable, powerful woman, an awesome mom. You're refreshed and restored. Everyone has little things. For me, there's just little things like just having my hair and makeup done every day makes me feel so good. Having my nails painted, they're almost always painted because it's part of my bi-weekly self-care routine. It just makes me feel good. Other women may not care about that. So whatever it is, let's just say that you just feel good. You're taking care of yourself. You're investing in yourself. You don't really have anything like in terms of your own well-being that's draining you. You feel really, really good. And you go to a park or something where there's other moms and they're all talking and sharing about how exhausted they are. They can't remember the last time they showered. And maybe saying things like, wow, I don't know how you can get manicures. I haven't done that in years. What does that make you feel? Automatically guilty. And that's not right. That's from them. You're holding up a mirror to them and they're seeing, wow, I don't prioritize myself like she does. So I'm just going to bring her down and make her feel guilty, when really we should feel guilty that we're not prioritizing ourselves more, and not in a negative, like, oh, you should feel guilty, but just like, hey, that's right. I need to prioritize myself better. And then taking that maybe a little tinge of guilt for a second and taking action on it and changing it, not the other way around. Why do we feel so guilty for taking care of ourselves? Guys, think about what you do. You are the housekeeper. You are the maid, the servant, the cook. You're the wife. You're the nurturer of your family. It doesn't matter if you have one little baby or 17 kids. You are so much. Why would we feel guilty for taking care of ourselves? How are we machines? You have to take care of yourself to be able to put out what your family needs from you. And that example that I gave you guys, and what I want you to imagine, that's me right now. I feel it every single time that I go somewhere. It's the worst. And these other women, it's so sad that they feel like the best moms are martyrs. The best moms are the ones who are the most tired and the most burned out and the least taken care of. And I just have to say, I get messages every single day saying, wow, I just love the way that you handled that tantrum. I love the way you handle your kids. I feel good. I take care of myself so I can respond better than them when there's crisis, when there's meltdowns, when there's a flu during launch week. I can respond better out of the place of self-care. You should let go of that guilt from yourself and from other people that you shouldn't be taking care of yourself.
Amen. Can we just all get an amen up in here? I just wanted to say that Tracy just said something. Allie and I have talked about this quite a bit to each other, or the moms that say must be nice. Does anyone else get this? Yep. And you know what my answer is? It is nice. And then that ends the conversation right there. And it's true. And it's taken me years to be able to say that. I get that about my business. I get that if someone's complaining about their kids. I just got this yesterday, actually. It's funny you say this. I didn't even realize I got this yesterday. Someone was posting about how bedtime is like a crap show at their house. And someone happened to comment on something, and then someone was like, well, you have 2 kids, and I said, actually, bedtime is the one time that's not crazy at our house. I wasn't judging. It's the only time that's never crazy. We have plenty of other crazy times at our house. Bedtime just has never been crazy. And this one woman was like, wow, must be nice. And she said something rude afterward too, like something very sarcastic. And I said, it actually is really nice, and we're really blessed and thankful. But the judgment was that I shouldn't have peace at night because somebody else doesn't. Believe me, there are other things that I look at other moms and I'm like, oh my God, that must be amazing to not have children who do this, this, and this. But I can't judge them. I'm not going to make them feel guilty about what they have. And I also want to say something to the moms, especially that have daughters, that think about the fact that you're raising this is what I do. I think about the fact that I'm raising my daughter and I am giving her all that I can, right? But if I'm giving her all that I can at the expense of me, what am I showing her? I'm showing her that when she gets older, she's going to have to sacrifice everything she has for her kids.
This is what you're worth when you're a mom.
Exactly. I don't want my daughter to feel that way. I don't want my daughter more than anyone, because this is a mom thing usually and not a dad thing. It's just, it's all moms in here. We all know. I don't want my daughter getting to be much, much, much older. I won't even say the number, but she's going to be much older when she has children. And I don't want her to get to that stage and go, well, it's been a fun, 25 or 30 years, but I guess I'm not worthy of taking care of myself anymore, even though my mom took care of me all the time. Like, I'm not worthy of taking care of me. And I don't want her to have that, to have that.
And it's funny that you say that about Ava in particular, because I always think about that for Bella as well, but I more so think of it for my sons. Like, you better understand that when you're married and you have a wife and she is the mother of your kids, you better take friggin' good care of her and make sure that if she doesn't prioritize herself, you will recognize it, because your mom took care of herself, and make sure that she does. If I don't make sure she does, they better make sure that she does.
Yes.
So I think that's funny. I always more think of oh, my boys, they better, they know what it looks like to take care of yourself as a mom, and they're going to make sure that,
Absolutely.
Okay. So myth number 1, I'm not worthy of spending money on bettering myself. Action step for this. Ready?
Yes.
Decide what the benefits of spending money on bettering yourself are. So think it through, brainstorm how it will benefit you and how it will benefit your family, and go beyond just well, if I'm happy, they're happy. Go beyond that. Go really deep. Think specifically. What are the benefits of spending money on bettering yourself? Maybe even think I can see you guys in the chat sharing some specific ideas of how to spend money. Somebody said on their depression medication, it's so expensive, and that's huge. That's really, really big and so necessary. But even go beyond that, not even just needs. Okay, let's say that I went ahead and I'm just using the manicure idea because it's my mom thing. But let's say you're okay, I'm going to go and get a gel manicure every other Friday. That's going to be my new thing. How much does it cost? Okay. Here's the benefits of that for me. And then in turn, the benefits of that for my family. Every single little thing, whether it's antidepressants or a manicure, every single thing, it matters, and it contributes to your joy and fulfillment and your ability to remain energized and sustained in the chaos that is motherhood. So I'll repeat the action step one more time. Decide what the benefits of spending money on bettering yourself are, and brainstorm how it'll affect you, and then brainstorm how it'll benefit your family.
Yes. I think that's an awesome action step. And someone mentioned in here just a quick thing, or just buy a new polish if it's too much money.
Yeah.
Yes. Maybe there's a thing you like and you could find a less expensive way to accomplish it. We're not telling you to go out and just blow money. That's not our job. We don't do that at all. And there have been times where we've had rough times in our life. But the point was, we were finding a way to still take care of ourselves that maybe just didn't cost any money. It costs no money to go out and take a walk. It doesn't cost any money to meditate. It costs no money to pray by yourself. It costs no money to have a date night in your kitchen at night when your kids go to bed with your husband. It costs no money to read a book that you already have. None of those cost money, and they're all ways to fill yourself up. So if the I'm not worthy of spending money on you sinks in because you're yeah, I really don't have a lot of extra money right now, find a way to fill yourself up in other ways. That would be our alternative to that.
And this morning, I went and I got a $1.50 cup of coffee at the donut shop in Old Town, and I just took a walk and I enjoyed the trees. I was just by myself and I had headphones in, listening to music, listening to a podcast. Those are all free. Just sometimes the mere idea of exiting the house alone is free, and usually the best form of self-care ever.
Absolutely. All right, guys. So we're going to go on to myth number 2. So we did myth number 1. Now, myth number 2, ready for it, is I should already know how to do this and shouldn't need to ask for help. I'm just going to leave that there for a second. Let that sink in, because that's a rough one. That hits me when I say it, it's like a knife, oh, that one hits really hard. That's my main one that I feel that I've been living out and that I've really had to do a lot of work on. I want you to think about the fact that if you started a new job, okay, say you started a job at McDonald's, a 15-year-old who goes and get a job at McDonald's, right? They apply, they get the job. What is the first thing that they do after they say you got the job? What is the first thing that they do? Because the number 2 is I should already know how to do this and shouldn't need help. What's the first thing they're going to do? They're going to train you. Literally, you come into a new job and they train you. They show you how to do the most, just the menial of tasks, like literally the minimum amount of tasks they teach teenagers how to do. When kids go to start kindergarten, they teach them how to go through the day. When we have kids, they just hand us a baby and they're like, good luck, have fun. And while there are a lot of parenting resources out there, we don't get trained on this. And there is this underlying fear that if we ask for help, it means that we are not good enough. It means that we're not a good enough mother. It means that we aren't smart enough. It means that we shouldn't have kids. I mean, I've heard every single one of these. I've told myself this, and this could mean help not only in motherhood, but this could also mean help with your house cleaning. This could mean help doing your hair. This could mean help parenting your child. Maybe you have a very difficult child, and after 5 years, you've just said, you know what? I need help. I really, maybe we need to see a therapist or a child psychologist, or we need to talk to somebody. But we avoid that because we have been inundated with this lie that we should know how to do everything. Like immediately when this baby comes out, we should know how to do it. And someone that I was talking to one time who doesn't have kids, don't you love talking to people who don't have kids about what they would do when they had kids? They were like, yeah, but like, if you look at animals out in the wild, they just like have a baby and they know what to do with it. And I was like, right. And then they leave that baby and they literally take care of it for like 1 month and then the baby goes off. They're different than us. We are multi-functioning specimens. We're higher level functioning than a deer. So they just train their deer what to do, and that's what they're supposed to do because they're out in the wild. So I just want to get across to you, you're not supposed to know what to do. And yes, there are things that we like kind of innately know, but there's a lot of stuff we don't. And that myth has just been over and over again told to us.
And the baby gets eaten.
And the baby gets eaten.
I'm sorry.
Listen, that's survival of the fittest, honey. That's the way it is.
That's just the way life goes. That's what you should have said. And the baby gets eaten. It's dead.
And the end of the masterclass today ends right there. And sometimes babies get eaten, guys. Sorry. Bye. Mic drop. And animals in the wild sometimes eat their young. Listen, I'm pretty sure that almost happens with humans sometimes too.
Yeah.
But just no other job in the world would require you to know every single thing. Also, then let's look at the fact that you like get down baby time. You're like, oh my God, I'm amazing at babies. And then what happens? Then they're not babies anymore. Then they're toddlers. And then we're like, oh, now I have to learn something new. And then we like get it down. We're like, oh my God, I have this whole toddler thing down. And then they're not toddlers anymore. So
and kid to kid, like
yes,
especially for me having them all close together, it was like, oh my gosh, I've obviously got this. It's fine. And then like the next kid is totally different than the next, and then another one, and then another one, and then another, because I have hundreds of kids. There's like, they're all so different from the last. It's so funny. If everyone is kind of like just freaking out and having a meltdown at once, I will notice myself, like I go to each kid and like calm them down or discipline whichever needs to happen differently for each one. Like, they're all so different. It's a constant learning process. It's ridiculous that we think we're supposed to know.
Yeah, and we aren't. And that's why it's a myth. And the reason that this is so dangerous is because it prevents us from actually learning. It prevents us from actually learning the things that we're supposed to learn. And this is something that, like I said, I struggled with, but I have really gotten over much more now in that I love to learn. And when I became a parent, I feel like that went away. Like I was all of a sudden scared to learn new things because I was scared that it meant that I was being judged. Like even if I read a book, guys, the author wasn't there with me. They didn't know my situation, but I would read something and go like, well, they don't know what they're talking about, as if they were judging my personal situation. And instead, I opened my heart up and said, I don't know everything. There are other people that know things better than I do when it comes to being a mother, when it comes to running a house. And so I'm going to learn how to do things better, because when you know better, you do better. And when you do better, you are better. And so I wanted to continue that instead of closing myself off and saying, I'm just going to continue down this path where I don't know what I'm doing and just hope it works itself out. I didn't want to do that. And so that had to do with motherhood. That has to do with business. Anything now that I don't know how to do, I get out of the mindset that I should already know. And I get into the mindset that I should learn. Not I should know, I should learn. So I love people are saying, stop shitting on yourself. It's one of my favorite things to say. Stop with the shittings. For sure. Yeah.
Okay, so with this myth then, like, what do you do? Like, okay, I know I don't need to, okay, it's relieving that I don't need to know how to do this. I understand that. But like, what do I do instead? I know you kind of already touched on like opening yourself up to learn, but like, go ahead and say like the actions.
Yeah. So the action step, again, just like with the first one, again, you're going to like, there's not really, oh, go out and do this thing. You're going to sit down and I want you to brainstorm the areas of your life that you want or need more help in. And this is going to take a lot of self-realization. This is going to take a lot of honesty. People don't like to think about the fact that they need help, especially moms. So this is going to take a lot of you sitting quietly. Maybe you know it right now. Maybe you can go like, oh, I know I need help like with house cleaning or something. But you need to sit down and decide where are the places that you need help. Brainstorm those ideas. And then I want you to choose one area that you're going to act on this week. Choose one. So one area where maybe you're going to research some blogs. Maybe you're going to buy a book on Audible. Maybe you're going to talk to your mom about something. Maybe you're going to seek something out. Maybe you're going to search podcasts, but you're going to figure out one place where you know you need help and you've been avoiding it because you think you should already know how to do something. And I want you to act on it this week. So you're going to brainstorm and then act on one thing, not all the things, just one thing. Mm-hmm.
And also like take advantage of the power of the age we live in with what you can learn. Seek out blogs or podcasts. You don't even have to spend money on a book if you don't want to. Like find some way to just learn. Like nobody has it all together, but some people are just so wise on a particular area. Find the person who's that in what you're struggling with an issue with your child or whatever, and just like dive in, soak it up, and just be open to learning and growing and just trying. You don't have to, this is the solution, this is what's going to work, and I'm going to do it now. You just have to kind of try. It's trial and error with parenting so much of the time, and that's okay.
Right. But this is all about eliminating that myth from your life. That's what we're all about here, is to take the fact that you should already know something is a lie. It's a flat out lie. You shouldn't know how to do everything. So instead of believing the lie, believe the truth, which is you are worthy of learning things that you don't know. And so brainstorm what you need to learn and go out and learn it.
Absolutely. Okay. So myth number 3 is I don't have time to spend on myself, the kids, the home, my partner, a job, a business. So basically I don't have time for blank. Insert your thing. So it's kind of like, we worry, where is this time even going to come from? Like I can't do it. We just immediately assume, especially, it can be for anything, but especially if it's something for us, or if it's going to help us, or better us, even sometimes bettering your family. Like maybe it comes from just feeling so freaking tired. Like, oh, I can't take on this new thing, or, read this new book, or take this new course, or go to the gym, or, start family game night because they just don't have time. You can't not have time for everything because your time is going somewhere and you have just as much time as everybody else. Albert Einstein, Maya Angelou, Kendra, like one of the greats, like everybody has
I love that I'm with them. I'm with Albert. I'm with Albie and
Oprah, like Kendra, like everybody has.
We all get talked about in the same conversation.
Yeah, and like all of us have the same amount of time, and I feel like it's a martyrdom thing, like it's a victim issue. And I'm just as guilty of this as the next person. It's such a habit. It's just ingrained, and like I will catch myself now at least, but sometimes I find myself like, oh, I don't have time. It's an easy out. It's like an easy cop out to get out of something, whether it's just something you don't want to do or something that you would like to do, but maybe you just aren't going to make time for because it's new and different and would make you a better person. It's funny how we seem to not have time for all the best things.
Yeah.
But your time is going somewhere. You choose what you do and don't have time for. So instead of phrasing it and acting out of it like it's a martyr issue, like you're a victim, like, oh my gosh, you know, that stuff called time, like I just don't have as much of it as she does, and I wish I did. Everybody has the same amount of time. You choose where yours goes. You can let go of things. You can say no to things. You can say yes to things. You can do whatever you want to do, and that forms your time. There's really only a few things that are kind of like not forced on us, but chosen for us depending on your lifestyle. Like if you don't homeschool your kids, well, you have to like take your kids to school and pick them up at the times that the school sets, but that's like what, 15 minutes each way. Like it, you know, you have control of everything. You can choose. And then Kendra has a story about what I love that you call the Fringe Hours that I really want you to talk about.
Yeah, there's somebody who wrote a book called The Fringe. I think it's called The Fringe Hours. But those are like those little bits of time that we all have throughout the day that we usually sort of squander. We just squander away. Like someone just made a great point. They were like, oh, I have no time except for all the time I scroll through Facebook. Like, yes, all of that time that you're doing other things, talking on the phone to a friend, texting back and forth with somebody, checking your email, scrolling through Facebook, doing things over and over again in your house that don't need to be done. All of those times add up. And so they're fringe hours. And every time I hear somebody say they don't have time for something, I think about the fact that 2 years ago, I decided I wanted to start my second business, which is currently my business. So Mother Like a Boss. About 2 years ago, I decided that. I had a full-time cleaning business, guys. No joke, full-time, hook up every weekday. I'm a Girl Scout leader. My husband runs a business and I help him run that. I have 2 kids. If you had told me 3 years ago that I would be able to start another business, I would have been like, what would I have said? I don't have the time for that. But what Allie and I say all the time is you're never going to find the time. You have to make the time. So I had to make the time. That meant giving up things in the evening. That meant hiring a babysitter or hiring a mommy's helper for $5 to come sit with my kids, you know, a 13 or 14-year-old to come sit with my kids and give them snacks while I did work. It meant giving up some of my weekends. It meant asking for help. That honestly was one of the biggest things that I had to do, was admit to my husband, I need more help. Here's my goal. Here's what I want. Here's when I want it by. It meant getting up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Allie can attest to that too. The getting up super early. I had to decide that my why was more important than my desire to be a martyr about time. And honestly, when you constantly say, time isn't my friend, I heard somebody say that, time isn't my friend, I never have any time, I'm so busy. What you're doing is constantly telling yourself and creating the cycle that you don't have time, because now your mindset is such that you don't have it. Instead of saying, I have plenty of time to do the things that I want and I will make the time for it. A lot of this is all about saying no and prioritizing. But it's a real myth that you don't have time for everything, because the reason we put all those things in there, myself, my kids, my home, because we'll hear people say that, like, well, I don't have time for myself, but I also feel like I don't have time for my kids. And I don't have time to clean the house, and I don't have time for date night with my husband, and I don't have time to start my business. And I'm like, well, what are you spending your time on? If you don't have time for any of that, what are you spending your time on? It's time to reevaluate where your time goes, because we all have the same hours. And it's a myth that you don't have time. It's the truth that you can make the time. And that's what we really want to get across to you guys. It's super important.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's like, you know, people say, again, going back to just messages, but you know, I get a lot of messages, and I'm sure you do too, of like, how do you have 4 kids? And I was homeschooling up until this year, and you know, how do you do the business and have all this time and all this? And it's like, I got up at 3:30 in the morning for like 9 months to start this business and put the work in. And now it's half the time, it's not even me. I delegate, I schedule things ahead of time. I get things, you know, done. You can hack your life, but really it comes down to, if you want something, if you want, you know, like for Kendra and I, us wanting to have a business, and for me to get my husband out of the job that he hated and to have us have the life that we have now together, which was our dream. I knew that something big had to happen. You don't get the life that you want by not doing something hard and making making big changes. Sometimes that hard thing may not be having to get up at 3:34 in the morning for almost a year. It might not be that dramatic for you. It might just be putting your phone down for the day and deleting all social media apps on it for a while. Or
there's a lot of people saying like, oh, being addicted to the phone, which believe me, there are times, and I will fully admit this, there are times that I'm walking around the house and I realize I have my phone in my hand. And I'm like, why is my phone in my hand? Like it's attached to me. And so what I've started to do is I now take my phone up, I put it in my room, and I close the door. And that way, after a few minutes, I forget about it. I just forget that it's there, and it's not in front of me. So I highly recommend, if you feel like you're addicted to your phone, put your phone somewhere where it's difficult to get to. Throw it in a safe. I don't care. Throw it in a safe for part of the day.
Yes. And Wendy just said what my next point was going to be. I feel like people don't understand that you can turn off all alerts.
Yes.
My phone doesn't make a sound, not even for texting anymore. It will light up and be on the lock screen so that when I go and I'm like done, I'm taking a break or I'm done living my life instead of texting about it, I'll go and see like, oh, I have a text from Kendra, and I'll respond to it at that point. But those beeps and dings, they are interrupting your real life. Don't allow that. No social media alerts go off on my phone. I didn't even have Facebook on my phone for like a year, and now I have to for work. But it's on like the last page, and there's no alerts. I don't care if somebody's going live. I will miss it and watch the replay. I don't care if somebody has my phone number and feels that they can get a hold of me any point in the day. I am working and raising my family. And if you guys have seen my Trello, like you on my blog where I share Trello, you see my day. Literally from 5:30 in the morning all the way down until I hit the pillow, there's something going on. And sometimes that something is just me sitting and breathing and having margin, but there's something going on. And it's not often that I allow somebody to interrupt my day because just because they have my phone number doesn't mean that they should. And before we get into the action step, I actually have one random action step that just popped in my head that I want you guys to do. Yeah. I know there's a way to do this on Android, but for those of you who have an iPhone, open your settings and go to battery, and then wait a second for the little circle thing to load, and then scroll down and click the little clock icon next underneath battery usage, and your phone will literally tell you how long in the last week and then how long in the last 24 hours you have spent on each app on your phone. And it makes me happy right now because mine are all like 9 minutes, and they used to be like 2 or 3 hours, and it's just eye-opening. Take a screenshot and then do it again in a month after you've simplified that and let it go and turn your notifications off and see the difference in time.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yes.
And you can do it on Android too. I just don't know how.
I wanted to also add, because you were talking about notifications, that's a great example of important versus urgent. And I just want to stick that in since we're talking about time. Important and urgent do not mean the same thing, and urgent tasks are very rarely important. And so we get caught up in this web of doing important things like spending time with your kids, and then we get interrupted by urgent things like a phone call. It's urgent because it's happening in live real time. That doesn't make it important. Don't let urgent tasks in your life interrupt the important things of your life. Sometimes things are important and urgent at the same time. Very rarely they are not. So don't let them interrupt that. I have to remind myself of that all the time when I'm having special time with my husband. That sounded dirty. When I'm having like time just sitting there, like, you know what I mean?
We're not doing anything. We're just sitting there.
Yeah, we're just sitting there. That's it. We're married. It's like I had to justify that. When we're just sitting there, and my phone will go off, and my first, because I'm no better than anyone else, my first inclination is what? To grab my phone. And then I'm like, wait a second. I'm having time with my husband. We're like talking. We're having a great time. We're watching a movie. Nothing is that important. Put it down. It's important versus urgent. And it's important that you realize that those urgent tasks don't need to interrupt the most important things in your life.
Absolutely. And just because in our society right now, that's how everyone is, and people get deeply offended and upset if you don't respond quickly, that does not mean you have to conform to that. One of the main things that I am told over and over again is jokes about how I don't respond. Like, don't text Allie, like she won't text you back, or like, I just like needed somebody reliable and you weren't there for me. Well, I'm living my life and my family is my priority. Okay, action step other than doing the clock thing.
Yeah, that was a great impromptu one. I love that. I'm going to do that.
Yeah,
I'm scared though.
Yeah. Okay, action step for I don't have time. I want you to make a list of all the things that you are currently spending time on a regular basis. So everything, church, PTA, baseball practices and games, dropping off and picking up your kids from school, getting ready in the morning, like literally every single thing that you spend any amount of time on. And be honest, go into your phone and check that, write that down. Oh, 9 hours on Instagram in the last week, like, what could I have done with that 9 hours? Circle the ones that have to happen and cannot be moved. So that would maybe be something that's a priority for you, like church, or you have to take your kids to school and pick them up, like things like that. Draw a circle, draw a square around the ones that could be removed, but you enjoy doing them. And then cross out any that are weighing you down, causing you to feel burdened, and are not mandatory. Okay, I'm going to repeat that one more time. Make a list of all the things you're currently spending time on a regular basis, every single thing. Opening your calendar up can help give you a starter point, and then make sure you fill in those in-between moments like, oh, well, I shower every day or not. Or I spend 10 minutes putting dry shampoo all over my head because I'm a mom. Whatever. Put in everything. Date nights, whatever you're doing, not what you wish you were doing, what you do. And then circle the ones that have to happen and can't be moved. Draw a square around the ones that could be moved, but you like them. And cross out what's weighing you down and causing you to feel burdened and are not mandatory. This is not like, oh, and those are the things you're going to let go of and you're not going to do them. It's a mindset shift. It's an eye-opening activity that will lead you to take action. It's just a reality check. Show it to your husband. Bring it to coffee with a friend and go over it together and let her talk to somebody. Let her help you be set free from these obligations that are really like how we spend our days is how we spend our lives, right? Do you really want to spend your days doing things that are weighing you down and are totally unnecessary because you feel obligated? And I just have to say again, I know we keep going back to the phone thing, but this is one of my favorite things to talk about. Texting is such a chain. It can be like handcuffs. People, they're so rude and self-centered. They expect you to respond immediately. I know that if I really need to get a hold of somebody, I will call them. And it's so funny how they're like, oh my God, hello? Is somebody dying? No, I was just calling because I didn't want to I didn't want to just wait for a text. I actually needed to know right now, and I thought I'd catch you. But it's so funny. You do not need to respond to everything. Turn off your notifications. Honestly, my phone makes a sound when my husband texts me. And when we're launching, it makes a sound when you text me.
Yes.
And then my phone rings when someone calls me. Other than that, even like Voxer is a walkie-talkie app. I have the sound turned off on that. It will light up if I need it to, so I can check it. Everything can wait. Everything can wait. Everything can wait. Your family cannot. Time is going by. And if you want more of it, take what's right in front of you.
Yeah. A great thing to kind of leave that one on. And I saw someone saying something about someone else's planning. Lack of planning is not your emergency. Amen to that. My mom always used to say, your emergency is not my emergency. She didn't say it to me. It was something that they learned in a job that she had. And it has stuck with me. And your emergency is not my emergency. It's hard as women because we tend to be servants. And so we want to serve. But the truth is somebody else's emergency is not your emergency. And it's something to think about all the time.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So now we're on to myth number 4, guys. I'm loving the amount of comments. I'm just loving how interactive this is. I'm loving that you guys are giving each other tips too, literally giving each other tips on books to read and stuff. I could cry. It's amazing. Okay. So myth number 4 is one that, when I think about this one, it makes me want to cry. Everyone else is better at this than me. And I mean motherhood, parenthood, being a woman, pick something, but really motherhood is the big one. Everyone else is better at this than me. And I have a story that is so funny because it sounds so trivial and so small, but to me, it was something that actually made me want to cry recently. And it's really silly, but my son started preschool and, he's never been in school before. And I have a daughter that's older. I know how school goes. I know how it runs and everything. And I'm a very organized person, as you all know. I'm very organized. I'm the kind of parent that reads all the pamphlets that come home. I read all the paperwork. I check online for things. And so I was prepared for that first day. I knew exactly what he needed, right? We walk in, I see all these little faces. They're so cute. And they're supposed to bring snack because it's, just preschool. It's 2.5 hours and they have a snack. And Everett has his little backpack, and none of the other kids have little backpacks. They all have lunch boxes. And I was like, why do they all have lunch boxes? They're just bringing a snack. And like all of them, 12 other parents have little kids with lunch boxes. And we get in and we walk them in the first day. And she's like, go put your lunch boxes over in the lunch or in the snack area. And they all put their lunch boxes in. And I was like, oh, I didn't bring a lunchbox. He just brought his snack. And she was like, oh, that's okay. It was on the paperwork. Just like make sure they have a lunchbox with a snack and maybe and with their water bottle and stuff. And in that moment, a lunchbox made me feel like the biggest loser of a mother, because I felt like I was being judged by 12 other moms. And this may seem trivial, but holler if you hear me here. Do you ever feel like those little things, like everybody around you is judging you? Like you can't even remember to put your kid's snack in a lunchbox. Like you can't even remember to do that. Like who doesn't remember to put their kid's lunch in a lunchbox? And I didn't know. I just didn't. And that is so trivial and small. And if somebody else if Allie had told me this, I would have been like, Allie, who cares? Like it's just put it in a lunchbox tomorrow. But to me, it brought up deep-seated, because that's what happens. These little things dig up these deep-seated beliefs that I am not good enough, that everyone else is judging me. Everyone else is better at this than me. Everyone is going to think like I'm the mom who's at home scrambling in the morning to get her stuff together. Maybe they're going to judge, like, what if they're going to think we don't even have enough money for a lunchbox? Literally, all of these things came up that are such nonsense, and they're myths. They're not real. No one is better at this than me. I'm better. I'm good for my children. You're good for your children. Sarah's good for her kids. Shelly is good for her kids. Angela's good for her kids. And we have to stop the everyone else is better at this than me myth, because it is ruining our joy as a mother. And I will say that to the end of time. It is ruining your joy when you compare yourself to other moms and buy into that myth that everyone else is better at this than you are.
Yes, and on the point of each of us is made, each of us is good enough for our kids. I've talked about this a lot, so it might be repetitive for you guys, but I have a really good friend she's just hilarious. She's one of those moms that's just like, oh, you're fine, like just brush it off, and the kid just like severely fell, and she's like, oh, you're totally fine. Like, and I'm like that, so I have to, because I have 1,000 boys. But this friend, she's an amazing party planner. I mean, like, what the heck? Like, yeah. Amazing. She had a Frozen themed party when that was all happening for her daughter. I was literally in, where's it called? Arundel? Is that where the city is, the town?
Yes.
Physically, I entered it. Like, it was amazing. And I'm like, and my kid's birthday, and I'm like, here's some pancakes, guys. Like, happy birthday. Like, and like on Valentine's Day, now my kids are going to school, so it's probably going to be worse. But when I homeschooled, in the homeschool community, like that's a really big thing. If there's a holiday, like you go all out and you make stuff and you study like Saint Valentine and make all these things. And I hate that kind of, I'm not going to say the word. I hate that kind of crap. It's not my thing. Yeah. I hate it. I just don't do it. I literally couldn't care less that it's Valentine's Day, like let's do a craft. No, we're not doing craft. Sorry guys. If you want to craft, like go, like, I don't know, make friends with a mom who's like super Pinteresty. That's not me. And I used to beat myself up. Like now, like I realize I'm really good at like celebrating, and like I'll go and buy the stuff. Like I'll go to Target and just go down that cheap party aisle with all the like fun, colorful stuff. I'll like put streamers up and like have fun, and like it's super simple. Like there's zero crafts. I don't bake anything unless it comes out of a box, and even then it's pushing it. And it's like that's it. Like I like gave myself permission to like not be that mom, and my mom is that mom. So sometimes she even steps in, and it used to make me feel like, oh, I should be doing that. Like I should have been the one to think about that for his birthday. Like, no, I shouldn't have. I'm thinking about a million other things, and they all matter so much. Like, step into who you are and let go of the rest. Guys, I hate crafts. I don't do crafts for St. Patty's Day or Valentine's Day or even freaking Christmas. You'll never find me crafting. But you will find me throwing streamers up in the air just because it's game night, because I felt like we just needed to party a little bit this week for no reason. Like, I'm good at that. I am not good at the other thing. You need to just step into who you are made to be. It's one thing to like, oh, I'm not good at that, so I'm just never going to better myself in that area. it. We don't want to be stagnant and stuck, of course, but don't do it out of guilt. Don't do it because it's bothering you that you're not as good as that mom. Like if it's something that you want to let go, like crafting and all that, that's something that I just let go. And I was happier and lighter and fuller when I let it go than when I was trying to hold on to it. But there's other things like, fitness or, other areas of life where it's like, well, I don't want to just be stagnant. Like I want to be better and better myself. So find that balance, but don't try to be someone that you're not, especially for the sake of your kids. They don't need her. They need you. And you are not this type of mom. So don't try to be that.
Yeah. Your kids don't need you to be perfect. They need you to be there. That's it. They don't need you to be perfect. They just need you to be there. And that's just something that I've had to really grasp onto. And someone said, like, if you are the crafty person, let's all stop making the crafty person feel bad for being crafty too. Like they're good at what they're amazing. Go girl. Good. You should. And because I get made to, so here's a funny add-on to that story. A week into preschool, one of the moms walked up to me and she was like, okay, I've been staring at you the whole time because I know you, but I didn't want to say anything because I feel weird. And I was like, okay. And she was like, mind you, this was the day I had no makeup, no hair done, like literally threw on whatever I had, walked out the door. And she was like, you're Kendra Hennessy. And I'm like, yep, that's my name. That's me. And she was like, no, you're Kendra Hennessy from Mother Like a Boss. And I was like, oh, right. Yeah, that's me. And she was like, I follow everything you do. You're great. I love you. Like, I've learned so much from you. And in that moment, I thought about the lunchbox thing. And I was like, here I am worrying about a lunchbox. And this woman is coming over and saying such kind, beautiful things to me. Again, it's all in our head. Literally, people are not thinking about you as much as you think that they're thinking about you. We're the ones who are getting on the perfection train. No one else is pulling that train. We are. And so it's super important to just remember that, again, your kids don't need you to be perfect. They just need you to be there. Okay.
And I just have to point out what's happening in the chat. Like, as I was saying, my example about my friend being so amazing and crafty and that I'm just not, and that's okay. All the women in here who are crafty are saying that they're starting to feel guilty for you're doing the thing that we're talking about not doing.
Yeah, we don't want, that's the thing right there. It's feeling, I've been made to feel guilty about being clean. Allie's been made to feel guilty about like, oh, must be nice to like not just be able to get rid of stuff all the time. That's just who we are. And let's stop worrying so much about how others view us. You be you, because that's the best you can be.
Yes. Absolutely. Okay. Action step is my favorite.
Yes. So the action step. You want me to take this one? Or you want to take it or?
You do it.
Okay.
It's my favorite.
This is my favorite one. And this is the one that may be the hardest for some of you, except that it is like the easiest one to do. I want you to take your pen, not right this second because we're talking, but when you do this action step for myth 4, I want you to take your pen, a beautiful sheet of paper, just a blank sheet. I want you to sit down by yourself and I want you to make a nice, big, robust, long list of all of the reasons that you're an amazing mom. I want you to make that list and I don't want you to stop until that page is full. And don't write big either, like, oh, I'm going to write really big so the page is taken up. Don't be the kid in school who writes a report and it's like, oh, I just wrote really big so it's 5 pages.
It's like 79 font, like, because I don't drink vodka every day at noon. Like, no, like, right? Yeah, ask your husband to do it too. Yep. But you do it for yourself, Evan,
for you first. Yep.
And I just want to tell you guys, we had this idea and we're so excited about it. When you guys are taking the action steps, especially this one, because it's so empowering, we want you to take a picture and share on social media. Please, please, please do this. In particular, Instagram, feel free to tag us. Share it in your stories if you don't want it to be on your feed. Use the hashtag UnstuckMom. Can you write that in the chat for me, Kendra?
Unstuck mom. Yep.
Hashtag Unstuck Mom. Share it. We want to see it. And I want to see every single one and comment. And I actually, I'm going to be doing this one, the make a list of every reason you're an amazing mom. I'm going to be doing it myself today and sharing because when we were talking about this action step was Kendra's idea. And it hit me so hard, like that I really need to do that. And I was going to do it a couple weeks ago when we were planning this, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to wait and do this with my community at the same time after the class. So I'm going to be doing it and sharing later today. on Instagram. Yeah, we're both going to do it, and we want you guys to do it. You can share Unstuck Mom, hashtag all the action steps for everything that we've shared today, or just this one, but just we want to keep you accountable. We really want you to take action. I can't stress that enough. It's not. And Angela, I love that she just said that. It makes me feel prideful. I was just listening to a podcast about how like people are embarrassed and ashamed to share their generosity. Like we always do generous things in the dark. Like we don't want to be too prideful and say that like, oh, I donated $500 today. Like no one posts about that. And like that is uninspiring. When you give in the light and you share, it inspires others to give, like how people will like buy the person's coffee behind them and the train goes on for like 60 cars. That's the same thing with this. By sharing the hashtag and sharing why you're a great mom, you're inspiring somebody else to do that. I want this hashtag to take over the globe tonight. I want it to be shared so much by you 320 ladies that it's everywhere. And the people who watch this afterwards, thousands and thousands of women sharing, and say, pass it on. Now you go. Tag people. I tag you, and you. Write a full page of all of the reasons you're a great mom. And let's start a freaking wildfire of women feeling strong and empowered. This class is not just for us to sit here and teach you guys and talk to you guys. This is to start a wildfire of hope and joy and empowerment and love, like women lifting up women. So hashtag Unstuck Mom. It's in the chat. Kendra shared it.
Yep.
Ginger, you're crying because this is friggin' amazing and you needed to be here and you're here for a reason.
Sarah just
I'm like about to cry.
It's super hard when you do it, and give yourself the grace to do it over some time. Maybe it's going to take some time, especially if you've never done it before. But Sarah asked, can we ask our kids after you've done it yourself, Sarah? Yes. After you have done, then ask your kids. But I want, for all of those moms that are in here that are like, I can't think of anything. Are your kids alive today? Are they still alive? Did they eat food? Do they have clothes on? Did they say, I love you? Did they give you a hug? Did they go to school? Did they learn something new? Yeah, you're an amazing mom then.
I did not eat them.
I didn't, see, you didn't leave them in the wild. You didn't eat them. I say you're winning.
Throw them in a bush.
You're better than the deer. You're better than the deer we talked about earlier. You're amazing. So I'll say a few right now because I don't want you to think that it's being prideful. I am amazing at teaching my kids routines. I'm really, really good at that. I'm with my daughter. I'm an amazing Girl Scout leader with her, which means that I'm able to teach her how to be the leader of tomorrow. I'm a good baker. I'm fun. I love to have a good time. I love to teach my children things. I'm amazing at teaching them things. It's not just, and that's a good start. Start with the things you love to do. Just say, I love, and then turn it into I'm amazing at, right? I love to snuggle with my babies. I'm amazing at snuggling with my babies. See how that turns? And then if you're also having problems, I want you to give one quick thought to the fact that if you told your kids to do this for themselves and they came back and said that they couldn't think of one single thing, how heartbroken would you be? Right? I want you to think about that for yourself. Okay.
Sorry.
No, go on, please. Go.
For everyone saying like, oh, but not leaving my kids in the forest is a normal thing, I wouldn't consider that amazing. That's not the point. If you can't think of anything, you have to start somewhere. There are moms who do that. There are moms who literally end their children's lives. Yep. You are amazing for not doing that. And it doesn't matter if it's not, transformation. It's a start because you can't think of anything.
And that what's funny is you saying that is yet another lie. Because what we are now saying, so it's funny you brought that up. What you're now saying is amazing is judged by somebody else. I'm not amazing unless somebody else says I'm amazing or society says I'm amazing. That's not true. I think my daughter's amazing because she's a good artist. So what? Tons of kids are good artists. Doesn't make her amazing. That's what I could. Right. So again, switch it around to your kids. What would you say that to your children? Absolutely not. You say they're amazing when they learn to tie their shoes. It's like, oh my God, you're amazing. You are amazing because you are the mother to your babies and they are amazing for that. And so start embracing that, because when you start embracing that, it's going to be a lot easier to get rid of all these other myths. But until you can embrace how wonderful you are, it's going to be really hard to get to the next step.
Yes, I love these. And so just a couple more ideas before we move on.
Yeah.
For me, I'm amazing at teaching my kids the power of their words. We say positive things every single morning over each other. I teach them how to have a relationship with God and not just be a Christian, because Christians can really suck. I am amazing at teaching them how to learn things on their own and learn how to tie your shoes the hard way by just doing it. I don't baby them. I enable them, I also think I'm a really great mom to boys. I struggle with my daughter sometimes. It's hard just because I don't do the girly thing very well. But out of that, I'm an amazing boy mom. And God gave me my daughter to grow me, so I know that. So go there, think those things. What are you really, really good at? Sometimes the things that we think are flaws, like I'm going to say a word, so if your kids are around, sorry. Sometimes, like, people call me a hard-ass mom, and you know what? That's a strength. My boys need that so bad. That is my strength. So sometimes it can even help to think of your flaws or things that people maybe make a face about you. Sometimes those are you're like that because your kids need you to be.
Yeah.
So just start somewhere. If you can't think of anything, just start at, well, I'm not a murderer. Start
and
there
then smile.
And build.
And then go. And if you're really, 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 really having a hard time, then I would also say that it's time to dig a little bit deeper into why you're having a hard time. So that may be a journaling thing where you need to dig into why it's so hard for you to talk about how great you are as a mother. And that's what this exercise is doing too. Like, that's the whole point. And for you guys doing this and sharing this and, not feeling prideful and just sharing, and also blame it on us. I went to this workshop and these girls made me do this. So here's the hashtag, and I tag my 3 friends to do this, for themselves too. It's setting that fire under other people. Like, oh my gosh, an opportunity for me to say good things about myself. Like, I need that. You can feel the need. So yes, we really want. So Unstuck Mom, we'll remind you at the end. Yeah.
But
some of these comments are literally, I can't. You guys are my favorite. I can't.
So let's just go over the myths one more time and the action steps to summarize. And then we'll probably send them out to you in an email too. We should probably do that. But yeah. Okay. So myth number 1, I'm not worthy of spending money on bettering myself. Action step: decide what the benefits of spending money on bettering yourself are and brainstorm how it'll benefit you and your family. Want to do 2?
Yep. Myth number 2 is I should already know how to do this and shouldn't need to ask for help. And the action step here is to brainstorm the areas in your life that you want or need help in. So just write down a brainstorm the places you're going to need help in and choose one area to get started this week.
And myth number 3, I don't have time to spend on myself, my kids, my home, my husband, my job, my business, whatever. I don't have time to blank. Fill it in for yourself. Action step: make a list of everything you currently spend time on regularly. Church, PTA, baseball, horseback riding lessons, taking your kids to school, showering. Circle the ones that must happen and can't be removed. Draw a square around the ones that could be removed, but you enjoy doing them and don't want to remove them. And cross out any that are weighing on you and causing you to feel burdened and are not mandatory.
Awesome. And then finally, myth number 4 is everyone else is better at this than me. Remember Kendra in the lunchbox. That's what you can remember. Yeah. And then this is the hardest one of all, guys. This is where you're going to make a list of every reason that you're an amazing mom. Start with something, and then we're going to use the hashtag UnstuckMom. Tag your mom friends. Make this take over. Moms need to understand that they are wonderful and amazing and they are loved. And that's what's going to change the conversation around motherhood in our society and in our world.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Okay? Yeah.
So, okay. So we summarized. We'll try to remember to send out an email to you guys who were here, just to remind you of, like, maybe give you in typed up form, like what the steps are.
Yeah.
But, for you guys who came here today, we know that you're here because you know that you've been lying to yourself about motherhood and you've been lied to by others about your motherhood. And that you're done feeling stuck in that, that you felt burdened by your schedule and you feel like you have no time, that you feel inadequate as a mom, even though you're friggin' amazing, that you're ready to ditch the feelings of defeat as a mother. And you've been comparing yourself to the other moms while secretly taking yourself down. And we just want to say no to all of that. You're done with that. Today is a new day and a new start, and it is time for you to take control of all of that in your life.
Yeah. And we also want to say, we say this all the time in just about every workshop we do, but it's super important that we get this across to you. Nothing we talked about today is like theory or guessing, or maybe this will work. These are all things that we take great care when we create these classes and workshops. These are things that we've gone through ourselves. We didn't just pull them out of the air. These are things that we've had hundreds or thousands of students go through, and we've seen the way that makes it better. So this isn't just a bunch of theories that we throw together. These are real action steps that we know you can use. And you're really at the point of decision now. That's why you're here, is you're at the point of decision and you want to take action, and you don't want to stay stuck on the same hamster wheel. That's why we called this Get Unstuck. Like, we don't want you to be stuck anymore. We want you to free yourself up and get off that hamster wheel, because it ain't no fun and nobody likes it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, okay, having said all of that, we are going to make our big announcement, and we're going to
guys.
Get into screen share mode here.
Yep.
Okay.
Y'all ready?
This is the big thing that we've been working on.
Yeah.
This is awkward. It's not loading.
This is awkward. This is it, guys.
How's it look? Is it there?
It is there, and it looks beautiful.
Okay, perfect. Let me just get this over here. Okay. So we have been working on this since, what even month was it? It was when Kendra and I were together in San Diego.
It was in July. So we talked about it in June. And in July, we planned it all out before I came, and then what we were going to do. And then in July, when I came, I was there for 4 days. We literally mapped out the entire thing. Like,
we didn't leave the hotel. Like, we left the room a little bit because we didn't want to be like hermits when we were on the beach in San Diego. But we went down to the lobby. Like, we didn't leave the hotel. We worked on this by the pool. We worked on this in our room. We worked on it in the lobby, at the coffee shop, at the restaurant. Like, we cried and laughed so much. We were just like, I've said this before, and I feel like I just needed to say it again. Like, having this idea has, and not being able to tell you guys has been the worst. Like, the
so
worst.
Hard.
Because I mean it when I say, like, I know that this project is a reason that I am here on this earth. It is such a passion project for me, and I know for you too, Kendra. Like, we are so excited about this. So, okay. It's called Made for This Mom, which I'm going to cry. I even at the title. And what this is it is a unique, nothing else like this out there. We checked. A unique, like, one-of-a-kind program that's going to move you from the overburdened, not enough, unfulfilled place that you've been stuck in to the confident, bold, flourishing mom that you were made to be. And that flourishing, just blooming joy life that you were made to live, and really diving deep into all the other stuff about motherhood outside of, tactical things like decluttering and cleaning. While we love to talk about that and it's important, this is like, but what happens when you're done with that and like you want to dive deeper? So basically, Made for This Mom, here's what you get, and practically speaking. It's all set up for you on a really clean, easy-to-use platform with private login access. 90% of the lessons are audio, which we did on purpose because it's very, very easy for moms on the go to it's sort of like listening to a podcast. You don't have to have the app open. You can turn your phone screen off and still listen to it while you're doing stuff. Yep. And what I love about this too is that the lessons are that kind of content. Sometimes with our other courses, it can be, you kind of want to listen while you're doing the thing, or you feel like you may need to take notes. With this, it's just like listening to a podcast. It really is. It's like you're taking in the inspiration, and then we give you action steps after, like we did today. And there's like a workbook that comes with it and all that. Yep. There are a few video lessons when they're necessary. Sometimes it just makes sense for you to see us. There's clear, straightforward action steps, which I think is really important when you're talking about things like this that are kind of like hard to put your finger on, hard to like, okay, but like, what do I do? Mm-hmm. And there is an over 35-page workbook that's beautiful, professionally designed by my designer, with pages that go along with the lessons. You also get a private Facebook group with individual secret access code for students only. And this is the greatest part, I think. And we're doing 4 scheduled live calls with the 2 of us in the private group plus monthly office hour threads for extra support. This is worth thousands of dollars. Kendra and I don't do group or one-on-one coaching of any kind. It's just not, it doesn't work for us in our business to exchange time for money because we have families. But with this, we're just kind of adding it on as an amazing bonus for you guys, because again, we're all about taking action. And we believe those of you who are in the course are the doers, and it's worth our time to do that with you guys.
Yeah.
And of course, regular encouragement, inspiration, and support in the online community. And then how it benefits you, this program, is there's access to the private group that's unseen by outsiders. We have the group set up so that you can share your heart and your struggles without feeling worried or judged. Also, we've talked quite a bit about our rules for that community. If there's somebody in there, we don't care if they've paid. Well, they've all paid, but we don't care. If they're extremely judgmental or negative, they will be removed. We have really strict rules for that. So not only can you know confidently that anything you post in the group won't be seen by your mother-in-law or something, but within the group as well, it's a safe space.
And we will be vulnerable as well. We will be showing up and showing our hearts. And in the course, there is stuff in there that we have never talked about some of the stuff we talk about. Because we wanted to show up and be vulnerable. If we were going to expect you to do that, we wanted to show up in the same way and meet you halfway.
There's things. Remember the lesson we were recording, I think a couple weeks ago, and it was one thing led to another, and I was trying to tell a story, and I ended up sharing something super personal about Brian and I. It was this is awkward, but it's Kendra and Allie uncut. We share everything, stories and things that we simply cannot share them in public because you don't know who's watching, who's listening. It's awkward, and this is really an intimate program. I'm so proud of it. I honestly feel this is I'm so proud of this. Is my life's work. I'm done. Yeah. This is amazing. I'm so proud. And so again, that workbook that we told you about, you can make a choice. You can fill it out on your computer. We made it fillable, or our designer did, Derek. He's amazing. Or you can print it out. We made it very clean and clear. It's not going to take up a ton of colored ink. You can kind of make your choice. And then there's the opportunity to be in an online room with the two of us, getting advice and encouragement directed at you every month for 4 months. And then the access to the community of like-minded moms, obviously huge benefit there. Yeah.
And I just want to say, since it says for 4 months, I want to clarify, we are running it live. What that means is that for 4 months, you will get those 4 monthly calls. You will have access forever. You will have access to the Facebook group forever. No matter how many times we run it, you will always be there. What we mean by 4 months is that for those 4 months, that we will be in there with the live calls, with the office hour threads. That will be the live portion of it. And no, you don't have to do it at the same pace as anyone else. It's not like we're going to go, okay, guys, today's lesson 1, today's lesson 2. We just mean that we're going to be there with you along the way, holding your hand. The way I described it is that Allie and I are your guide, and the other women in the Facebook group are like your hammock that are going to catch you when you fall. So that's sort of how we describe it.
I love that. And while we would love to run it actually live and okay, we're going to do this module, it's just not realistic for moms and
not for moms.
So we would never do that to you. And also we just want to be, let me just fix this here. We want to be really transparent with you guys and actually show you what's inside the lessons. It's amazing. I'm really excited right now that we're showing this. Okay. I don't know if you guys, we're going to it might be kind of blurry. We may need to read it. Okay. So this is quickly. Physically, this is literally inside the course. Okay. So it's beautiful. I love it. I love our colors. Okay. So we start here, obviously, and we have these little things in here that are called Pep Talks. They're all throughout the lesson. And what I love about them is they're all super short. They're just hey, you, if you need a kick in the pants, here it is. Yeah. And they're very pointed and brief and powerful. And then here's expectations versus reality, my full story, Kendra's full story, taking responsibility for your life. The workbook is here to be downloaded. Oh, it's not letting me scroll. There we go. Okay, then the first section after all that we get into is habits and rhythms. Super full. I love it. Oh my gosh, I love it so much.
And I also want to say while you're scrolling, Habits and rhythms having to do with you as a mother, you as a woman, you as a family, not the same way that we talk about them in our Homemaker Issue course and Your Uncluttered Home. We want to be super clear. This is not Your Uncluttered Home, and it is not Homemaker Issue. These are very different. Even the way we talk is different. You'll notice very different way we talk, even about the things, because this is really about you as a mother. It's about getting to the heart of you and how you can create better habits and rhythms in your life and your family to be a better woman than you feel like right now. I just want to get that across, that this is not at all like Your Uncluttered Home or Homemaker Issue. There may be one or two things that are similar, but it's very different.
Yeah, we don't talk about that at all. You'll see like the home section is the smallest portion because we don't want to waste our time or yours. Like we already have 2 courses solely about the home. But there were some emotional based aspects of running your home that we discussed. So being the CEO of your home was one of them, making a fresh start any time of the day, not waiting for tomorrow to be better, which I think is super powerful. Managing your home in a way that feels good, the truth about clutter and like what to do about it and the heart and emotion behind it, taking control of your home. Then we get into owning your time and schedule, which is very, very huge. You guys can look through the lessons here: procrastination and perfectionism, setting priorities, your morning routine, your nightly routine, the illusion of overwhelm in your life, taking ownership and responsibility of your time. And then relationships is one of the biggest modules.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Yeah, this took us the longest time, I think. What if your husband's just not on board? This is very general. Like if your husband just isn't on board with you doing anything that you want to do in your life, like you can apply it to any single thing.
Yeah.
Having fun with your kids, how to stop being a mom that yells, creating traditions that matter and don't stress you out, boundaries in toxic relationships, how to say no when family doesn't understand that you need to change and better yourself, finding mom friends as an introvert, that's me, having meaningful conversations with your kids, keeping friendships after motherhood, relationships with your kids, digging deeper about how you played as a kid, dealing with awkward conversations with your kids at every age, playing with your kids when your kids are resistant to the changes you're making. Your kids want attention, not perfection. That's a pep talk. And then the All About You module is another super, super full one.
We are so proud of this module. I
love, I'm going to like get choked out. Okay.
I know.
I'm just going to
It's amazing.
Why you're the most important person in your life, being a woman, not just a mother. You deserve happiness. And I'm skipping over the PDFs because we've actually put all the PDFs separate within the lessons they belong in, but also bundled them together into one large file if you prefer to go through them that way. So that's why I'm skipping those. Okay. You don't have to have a highlight reel life. That's referencing social media. Flexibility in your life and your schedule. Don't hold yourself hostage in your own life. Finding your why in life and in motherhood. That's a really, really huge one. Pillar events. That will make sense when you listen to it, but I'm helping you navigate your schedule as a mom. Setting boundaries with self-care and making it non-negotiable, finding time versus making time, simple, healthy habits, simplifying your health and eating clean. That's from me. Self-sabotage in your life. I think that's from you, Kendra, right? Or that from both?
Yeah, it turned out to be really good too. We get into some deep stuff.
Talking about postpartum depression and postpartum anxiety. Each of us has struggled with one of these, and this is one of the most emotion-filled things I have ever done. In the end, I ended up feeling honored that I was allowed to go through that because of the message that I have for those of you who have struggled with that. Addressing your fears and anxiety as a mom, the mental weight of motherhood, ways to find inner peace. And then we get into your mom type. And what we mean by that is we address each type of mom. So stay-at-home moms, work-at-home moms, work outside of the home moms. And what do you do when you switch in between those 3 things? Like if you were a work outside of the home mom and you lose your job and you're now a stay-at-home mom and you freaking hate it, what do you do? Like we address the hard things that nobody talks about. Okay, and then there's bonuses here. We actually sat down and had a video chat with each of our husbands, and it was really candid. Brian and I just sat down and talked about like what he thinks of motherhood in general and my role as a mom and how he sees me as a mom. And then we took questions from the audience on social media, and of course for me, they were all about decluttering. So we chatted a little bit about that, and Adam and Kendra did the same exact thing. Their video, which I think is really powerful.
We did audio, but yeah, we have an audio, but yeah, it ended up being the cutest thing ever because you never know which husbands are like kids when you get on like camera or something. You have no idea what they're going to say. Like I didn't know what he was going to say. I gave him some of the questions before, so he wasn't caught off guard, but it was a 30-minute talk. He ended up talking, my husband's a chatterbox. And so he ended up talking a lot and just really about the heart of home management when it comes to husbands. He talks a lot about nagging and like how to approach your husband when you feel like you're nagging. And he speaks a lot to the husband. So listen to it with your husband. Like it was just really, really awesome. Yeah.
And I just have to point out too, like when you guys are in here, like just watch the video. And like Brian it's hilarious because last year we had this like media frenzy in my business where like Good Morning America like came over to the house and the Today Show and all of these things were just happening. And he is the most awkward person on camera I have ever seen. He like gets so nervous, and he was telling me like this video is like making me have flashbacks of like when I had to be on camera all the time. And I just am a natural at it. I'm used to it, and he's so awkward. It's the cutest thing in the world. So and you can see the whole time I'm like trying not to laugh.
He's so cute.
He's a love bug. Okay, and then we talk about making intentional choices. That's one of my favorite lessons. I kind of forgot that was in there.
Yes.
That was one of my favorite ones.
Yep.
How to simplify your finances. This is actually with an expert. This is someone else is in here for this. And yeah, there it is.
And that's 50%. That's only 50% because the other 50% is happening in the Facebook group with the live calls and the Q&A threads and the us being in there 1 or 2 times a week, just pouring into you, answering questions. Then all the other moms, like the community is what's the huge part is that this is not one of those free communities that anyone can join. It's not going to be 20,000 people. We're not limiting the amount of people, but it's not going to be 20,000.
It's not going to be that.
No, it's not going to be even close. So it's going to be moms that are in this for the same reason that you are, and they're there to encourage and support, give tips, just help you through everything and help one another. We're just so excited.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. So sorry, I'm trying to get all my ish together again. Hold up.
I know people are just like, can we just buy? So yeah, we'll get to it in just a second.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so we have a few testimonials from people who, and some of you guys might be here. You probably are.
People.
I love when they send in their family pictures. So cute.
I know. Pictures. These are cute.
These are people who, we're not doing testimonials from each one of us because we're a team.
Yeah.
And so these are people who have taken our joint bundle, because we do have another bundle together. And so Stephanie says, finding Allie and then Kendra was like finding the light. After committing to applying the principles they taught, I can now see why my mindset wasn't right, how making rhythms and implementing systems has created much more harmony in our home. The lessons are so encouraging. It's like Allie and Kendra are talking and joking with me in my home as I work through each lesson, and I love it.
Yay.
Love that. Okay, you do this next one.
Okay. Oh, wait until it comes up. There's a little bit of a lag. So, okay. Allie and Kendra are like peanut butter and jelly. That's my favorite one. I love it. I love that. Like peanut butter and jelly. I've truly enjoyed their bundle. I've learned how to declutter my home, and I'm close to getting my groove with house cleaning. Awesome. It's literally changed my life. And that's from Renee.
Love it. And then Laura says, I'm a mom of 4 young boys, and I purchased the Rock Your Mom Life bundle because I was tired of being tired. I was always behind on everything, and I needed a how-to, real deal guide from others who had been there and done that. A few weeks later, I'm still halfway through my first major clean out and cleanup, and it already feels so much freer, lighter, and way more manageable. And I have to say that I love when they send testimonials before they're even done, because that's what I want to see. Like that. Before you even were halfway done, you saw a total difference.
Yep.
I love that.
So great.
Okay. So for you guys, this is another big thing that we're excited to share with you. For you guys, and for everyone within a certain amount of time, there's an early bird bonus pricing where the program is half off. I can confidently tell you that we will never, ever again, as long as we both shall live, let this program be purchased for 50% off. No. We realize that it's very new, and we realize that it's going to change a lot of lives. And that's why we were so adamant about like, oh my gosh, like show up live, watch the web class, like be here, watch your emails, watch your inboxes, because it's such a big deal. And, you know, whenever we do like flash sales and stuff, we like to bless you guys. Sometimes we're just randomly like, hey, you know what? Let's like put our Rock Your Mom Life bundle at a discount. I just feel like people need it and they can't afford the full price. But honestly, you're never going to see it at this price ever again. I can promise you that. So this program is for moms who are over the feeling that you're not enough, that you're not worthy of taking care of yourself or spending your time and money on something that's going to make you better. Okay, this is a program to get you off the carousel of motherhood and realize you're still a woman outside of that role, and that you deserve to live out your purpose right now. Okay? Mm-hmm. Okay.
So let's do this.
I know there's a lag.
I know. It's okay. Well, it's fine. The value, we're going to get to the investment. The value of this, we sat down and did the number. No, I sat down and did the numbers because I'm the numbers person and Allie is the words person. It's over $3,000, the value, because we're doing a live aspect of it. We are putting ourselves in there for 60 to 90 minute live calls once a month, plus impromptu ones, plus office hour threads for the 1 day a month, plus just us being in there and helping. It's not a one-to-one course. It's not a coaching, but we are pouring in far more than we do. And there was the reason for that. We wanted it to be that way. And so the value is really about $3,000 plus. We would never charge you $3,000 plus though. That's ridiculous. So it's valid. The actual price is $397. So that's the actual price that
the full price.
The full price. It will go up to $397 by next week. It is more than worth it at $397. That is honestly a huge discount. But you're going to get it for $197. That made me sound fair. I hate when it sounds like I'm one of those TV, like, you're not going to pay $397.
I'm going to get it for what?
Yeah, you won't even pay $297.
Well, we're just trying to show you
we
guys.
We wanted to show you. You're not going to pay $397. And we're opening this up for 3 days only, that you can get it for $197. Lowest it will ever be. It will literally never be $197 again. So help me God, never. And I just had to put it out there. And the reason for that is not because we don't want to give it to you for that. It's just that the value is so much more than that we just wouldn't physically be able to do that. We're literally putting a lot in there. So help me God. We're a fun bunch here, guys.
I'm okay. Oh my God.
Yes, you have payment options. We have $197, where you can do a 3-payment plan where you spend $78 today, and then 2 monthly payments of $78, where it's every 30 days for 2 months, 2 more months. So you would do, it's November, so it would be November, and then December and January. The payment plan, if you do it over time, it is more than $197. We add an additional amount because we're giving it to you on loan. So that's the reason. We just always like to say that, but we know that people need the payment plan, and we absolutely want to provide that. We will provide it even when we have the $397. We provide a payment plan for that as well, for sure.
Yes, absolutely. So will you just go over with them like exactly what happens when they enroll, and I'll get the button ready for you guys?
So this is expiring on Saturday night. So it's going to expire Saturday night at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time. After that, like literally the button will be different. So it's, if you click the button at midnight, it won't be that price again because the button will change. So you have to get in before then. It's $197, and here is the showing right there, the screenshot. Sorry, I like totally lost my words. For Made for This Mom. So you'll click that button. She just dropped the button. It says enroll now. You go to that. You put in. You can click one-time payment or payment plan. And here's a big arrow. We just want to show you, like, if you click the wrong thing, check that number right there. So after you put your credit card information, check and make sure that that's the one you wanted to choose. That it says $197 or $78. It should say one of those two. And then you click place order now, and you will go to something that says instant access. You click that button, and you get a thank you page, literally with every bit of information you could need about how to log in, and you can start immediately, guys. Like, if you do it right now, you could start in 2 minutes. You could get started like immediately.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Yeah, and what I love, I hate when that just happened to me. I bought a course about learning how to be a better speaker because it's part of my job apparently, and I hate it. And I couldn't get access to. I wanted to learn like right away, and I couldn't. So we don't do that. We don't even tell you anything until we're all the way done, so that you can immediately dive in. So just kind of going over again what happens, what you get. You're getting the entire Made for This Mom course immediately, audios, videos, the PDF workbook with lifetime access to that. As long as the internet exists, you will have that course.
Yep.
We're never going to take it away from you.
Nope.
I also want to add that I saw a suggestion the other day. Somebody suggested like, oh, is there going to be something for people with special needs children? And like, we don't have that in there right now, but I already sent an email to a very, very good blogger friend who talks all about that for her to come and do a lesson in the course about that. You can bet your butt that's going to be added. And that's how this works. When you guys have great suggestions and you tell us what you want, we do it. Yeah. We add it. This isn't like period done. This is evolving. And when you enroll, you always get those changes at no extra cost. Yep. I mean, you're in for good. Even if the price were to double for some reason later, you'll never be charged for extra things that go into the course. And then, of course, again, you get access to that private Facebook community with 4 scheduled live calls. And you know what we're going to do? Because I know some of you guys don't like Facebook. You don't have it. You don't want to use it. And you don't want to just create a private account just to be a part of the community. We will take our live calls and we'll download them for you and send them out via email every single time. And you can just like download that video.
They'll also be in the course. So once they're downloaded within 24 hours, I will download them and then put them in the course under its own module live calls. Want to be super, super clear about this. Somebody just asked, are the live calls one-to-one? No. They are us in the group doing a call kind of like this, only targeted towards, we are going to be watching what you guys are asking questions about. We're even going to take questions. So there'll be the ability. We are not guaranteeing that all questions will be answered. There's just, in order for us to do that, we would have to charge 10 times this much in order for us to spend that time.
That's why we're not
doing that. So it is not one-to-one. It is us coming in and doing live calls in the group, only for that group, for 60 to 90 minutes, probably lean more towards 90 because that's just the way we are. We pour in, going over things.
Yeah, we blocked out the time already.
Yeah, blocked off the time, going over things that we are noticing people are really spending their time on, pouring into the things that need more depth, and then answering questions. We'll also have office hour threads, which mean there will be once a month, there will be a thread where you can ask your questions. One question, you can ask it, and we will come in and answer it. That's what that is. We'll come in and type an answer. So yes, that's what it is. Great.
And I just want to clarify, we don't do this with anything. Like, this is different than anything we do. We don't do this in our other courses because they're lower cost than this will be. We don't do this with anything else. This is like where we're going to be in 2018, spending time with you guys. And then, when we open the doors again in the spring, which if it's just not the right time for you, we don't want you to feel forced. Like, we will be opening the doors to this again later next year towards the end of spring. And, then we'll be doing it again with the new batch of people, and you guys will still be in there. You don't get kicked out. For the new batch of people. It's not just these 4 months. You get lifetime. You can do it again. Like, this is a course you're going to have to reference again and again as your kids grow and your season changes. April asked, is there a place to see what specific lessons are in the course?
On the sales page. If you go on the sales page, which is www.madeforthismom.com. There is a video walkthrough on there. If you look in it, there's a video, if you scroll down, and it's a sneak peek. And so you can look at all the lessons. I scroll through there and you can see the lessons. You can show your husband if that's what you need to do. Someone just asked, how do you explain to your husband the value of purchasing this? That very much depends on your husband. So I'll say that. But if you feel that you're in a position where you know that being a better mother, that taking this course, that being a part of this community, that having this support is going to make you a better mother, a better person, make you happier, make you more joyful, then I would bring that up. Know that there are thousands of people that have taken our courses that have said that it has changed their family. It hasn't just changed them, it's actually changed their family, because moms are the hub We are the backbone of the family. And when mama's happy and joyful, it spreads like wildfire to our family. So while we can't tell you, that it's going to be the right amount of money, like that's your family budget, that's what I would say to my husband. That's what I do say to my husband when I need to purchase something, say for my business, that I say, this is really something that I'm going to get back, and here's how. So great question though. Thank you, Allie, for putting that in.
I put the link to if you want to and there's a lot of information, like we kind of already said it in the class, but that sales page is we put everything there. There's a video walkthrough where you can see all the lessons. Everything is in there that you would maybe need to show your husband. Like we really went all out, and it's very detailed, and it's mobile friendly. So you can, if your computer's being weird, which someone said, you can go on mobile. Like I just want you guys to understand, like, if you have another question, send us an email. Yes. Go look at the sales page. Like, sure. We try to answer everything. Like, we want to be here for you. And that's another reason why we're opening the doors for so long. They don't close until the 18th of this month. The price will go up a lot sooner than that, but the doors don't shut. And then we do shut the doors. This is not something you can get anytime. So we really that's why it took us so long to create this, is that we put so much thought and heart into it, and really thought, like, what's the best way for them, for this to work for them, and for us, but mostly for you guys. And so that's where this come from. How long?
Yeah, I think maybe she just didn't answer.
She didn't.
Something I was just going to say too. Don't you hate that when you're like, oh, it's something really great, and then you like squirrel off into another direction, and then you're like,
yes,
well,
totally.
This is awkward. I don't know. I'll think of it. But yeah, any questions? Now it's time for questions. It doesn't have to be about Made for This Mom.
I've got a few here that I wanted to look through.
Yeah.
And guys, just so you know, we don't just like take any random questions. Like I try to find ones that are relevant to what we just taught.
Kate's all enrolled. Yay, Kate! Thank you. We're so excited.
Okay, let's see. Sorry, I'm just skimming and.
How long filtering. Is each section, Tamsin? Do you mean like module? It all depends. There's about 10 hours of material in there. But they're all broken up. They're all broken up into, some lessons are 10 minutes, some lessons are 30 minutes.
And the whole course doesn't have to be taken at the same, you're focusing right now on maybe you just became a stay-at-home mom instead of work outside of the home mom and you hate it. Maybe you just want to focus on that module and come to the other ones later next year. Like, it's not like the decluttering and cleaning course. Like, it's just, there's really no rules. Okay, I'm working through your first bundle and I don't really feel ready right now, but I'm so tired of yelling. Would you suggest I still purchase now? There's no way I can afford full price. Elizabeth, if you know that, I would just get it and let it sit there, but I don't want you to feel pressured. Yeah. This can sit here and you can let all the you don't have to be in the community right now. You don't have to do anything. You can just let it all sit there. And then when you do go through it, maybe we'll be doing another live round of it, like later in the future, or just go back through and watch the live videos instead. And you guys can always email if you have a question about, not like one-on-one coaching emails, but a question about the course or something like this after we're not live anymore. Yeah. Because that's a really good question and that's not answered on the sales page. So we understand it's a decision that you need to make.
Absolutely. And full disclosure, isn't this funny? But literally as I'm sitting here, I got a foot cramp. Is that not mom life right there? Like literally while you're sitting trying to do something, you're like, oh, good, I got a foot cramp or a leg cramp. It's so awkward. It's almost getting a cramp is the most awkward thing ever because you're like, and you're trying so hard not to scream.
Yeah, so I know. Somebody says, is this course complete without being sold a product after the lessons? Yeah, we never sell anything in our courses. Our courses are it. Will the price be $197 when the doors reopen? No, nope. We're never doing one. That's just for the first time. It's like a launch party.
We don't know next year how much it's going to be honest. It's just, we haven't really thought that far ahead.
Yeah, no.
Carrie, yay!
Yay!
The payment plan will be, so there's always a payment plan. So here's how it's going to work. From right now until Saturday night, 11:59, that whole thing, it will be $197 and the payment plan will be available. After that, it will go up to $297. So we're jumping it up. Then $297 for until Wednesday, correct? Is that how we're set up? So it's a few days. I think maybe until Tuesday night, it's $297 with a payment plan. a different payment plan. So it's, I think it's 3 or 4 payments of something.
Yeah,
and
it's all the same, like,
it's all the same percentage. And then for the last couple of days, it will be the full price of $397 with payment plans. So there are going to be payment plans no matter what the price is, because we know that is absolutely imperative for you guys, for sure.
Yes. Okay. Nicole says, what is the difference between this and the Rock Your Mom Life bundle? Do we get any of the content from that bundle in this course or community? No. We've been saying, it's like saying, like, is the Rock Your Mom Life bundle the same or similar to Made for This Mom? It's like asking, well, I just bought lipstick yesterday, so should I also still buy lunch for today? Like, they're not even comparable. It's not even a question that makes sense. They are totally separate. They deal with completely different issues and areas of your motherhood.
We don't talk about cleaning. We don't talk about decluttering. We don't talk about homemaking, other than the home section, which, again, is very small. It's very heart-centered. Yeah, and it's very heart-centered. This is about motherhood. This is about you as a mother, you as a woman, and the lessons are amazing, but I'm going to be really honest, guys. The community is going to be where the magic happens. I'll be really honest. I'm in courses where I've only spent 50% of my time in the actual course platform, and the other 50 literally learning everything in the community. Because when you have that many women there, all for the same thing, and I know because I see it in my Homemaker Issue group, you guys are always helping each other. And I'm there to answer questions more than I would be in my free group, because there's just too many people. And it's just a different vibe. It's a different feeling. And it's, there's a saying in our line of work that people come for the content, they stay for the community. That's how this works. It's like the community is the thing you never knew you needed. And then you get there and you're like, how did I live my life without a community? You know?
April has a question, not directly related to this. She says, do you have any recommendations for how to kindly respond to judging moms that disagree with how you are raising your kids?
Good punch. No, I'm joking.
And it kind of depends on, like, what they're saying, of course. But for me, April, especially being, like, kind of in the limelight a little bit, and everything that I do, I'm very open with sharing on Instagram stories. I love being open. I hire out pretty much everything else because I want to be intentional with my time. But on Instagram, it's always me, and I'm very open, and I share every day with my family. So you can imagine the comments that I get, little things like, wow, I see a mess in the background. Like, I thought you were supposed to be, like, super uncluttered, like that. Just people are rude, or like, wow, I can't believe that you do timeouts. Like, just anything. It's open to scrutiny. And for me, I found that just having a quiet confidence sometimes, just in saying nothing, in person, that's a little harder. But honestly, just, I'm sorry you feel that way.
Yeah.
Like, whatever works for you, like, this works for him. I'm his mom, and I know that. Or, for me, like, digitally, just saying nothing, just letting the comments slide. So I hope that helps.
Yeah. I also have just learned to kindly say, well, thanks for your opinion, but this is what works for our family, and be done with it. And then if they continue, that's when you need to step up and say, this is actually not something that I'm comfortable talking about anymore. This is what we do, and that's the end of it. And just ending the conversation. And if it's something online, then you can ignore it. Amy, absolutely different than your organizing class. We don't talk about organizing at all in this. Yeah. So it's not about organizing at all. No, in my organizing course, I'm sure I mention routines or something, but if you have my organizing course, you're learning how to organize your life and your systems in your home. This is totally different. This is for, honestly, there are a lot of moms in our community who like to watch us, but they're like, I don't really need your courses because I kind of have my home under control. Like they're like, I'm good at decluttering. I'm good at cleaning. So this is something that they're like, I've talked to somebody and they're like, I love the idea of this because this is something where I feel like I need that community and I need that help and I need that encouragement. It's about motherhood and it's about all of the deeper issues, the postpartum stuff, the time, the routines, the learning about me, the relationships with my kids, digging in deeper. That's where I need the help. I don't really need the help with my home. So we've kind of provided you with both things.
Yeah, absolutely. How can I share this video with my mom friends? Please do that. Please. The 500 spot limit was for the live class. So anyone can watch the replay and we would encourage you to share it with them. It's the same link, the link that's at the top of the class, the crowdcast.io/e/get unstuck masterclass. That's the link. And we're also going to be sending the link to you to watch the replay. Yeah. So you could just forward them that email or just copy that link and share. Please feel free to share this. And the next question was, how do we encourage fellow mom friends to do these things? I think you should start by doing the hashtag and sharing your reasons that you're a great mom and talking to them about this, and maybe start a mom's group. Like, be a part of that wildfire that I talked about. Don't just keep it for yourself. And earlier somebody mentioned that, in the old days, moms passed down helpful tips and inspiration to the next, to each other. And now it's kind of like we just do our own thing and like try to be the best and like don't really share anything. Yeah. I don't really know exactly where that comes from, but I have some idea, and it's not helpful. No. Don't keep this for yourself. Spread it, share the class. Just share the information at your next time you were having coffee with a friend. There's a lot of ways you could do that.
That's what true abundance is. Rachel asked that she likes, she was asking if the course is full of video and or like audio. She missed the first few minutes of us talking about it. She likes that over a Facebook group kind of thing, and engagement. She doesn't tend to engage. Yes, it's 10 hours-ish of content. So you absolutely can do it even if you don't plan to engage in the Facebook group, but we will be very honest that a huge amount of content is going to happen in the Facebook group.
Because that's where we're going to
be. So you can absolutely just take the content and you could do a lot with it. But we also just want to be, we always want to be transparent and say that all of like the stuff and the lives are going to go down there. So if you don't mind watching the replay, that's awesome. We'll put it in there. If you don't mind not engaging, that's okay too. But a huge part of it is the community. So we just want to be really clear about that. But great question, Rachel.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, let's see.
Thank you guys so much for being here. I know a lot of you guys have to go. It's been a long one, but you're amazing. Yeah. You guys.
I'm trying to be really careful with which questions I take because we're so far over, and I know a
couple more minutes. I know. You have to pick up time.
Okay, we covered that in the class.
Oh, and something we didn't mention that we need to mention. Yes, there is a refund. It is 14 days. So we need to make that very clear. Usually it's 30. It is not 30. It is 14 days. If you get in there, you do the work, and that's what we ask. We ask that you honestly try it and do the work. There's a lot of stuff in there. So if you get in there and you're like, oh, I just didn't like it, I don't think you tried. That's my honest opinion, because there is more than enough in there. But sometimes it's just not for everyone. We get it. We are offering a 14-day refund. There will be absolutely positively no refunds after 14 days. And the reason for that is our live calls start after that. And it would be unfair to do live calls for people where people are getting very vulnerable. And there's a lot of talk going on, and then having somebody watch that and then ask for a refund. We just feel like it's not really fair. Yeah. So we're going to, 14 days is the refund date. So 2 weeks afterward, and then that's it. And then we'll get started with our live calls and we'll be good to go.
Patty, the judgmental mother-in-law, I didn't answer that because I would say the same thing as I said for judgmental friends.
Yeah. Same. Yeah. Yep. And I feel the same way. I'm very lucky in that I don't have a judgmental mother-in-law, but I think that it's a lot about your confidence and standing up for yourself and realizing that you are the one in charge of your own children, and that what happens in your home is about you, and that you don't have to listen to anybody else. And sometimes that means cutting people out a little bit, not cutting them out of your lives, but we actually talk about that in the course. Toxic relationships.
A lot of that.
Yep.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, that was it in terms of questions that we either didn't answer yet or weren't relevant. So I need to go pick up little ones.
I know, so do I.
So
I wish we could stay on all day. This has been great.
I know, but we have more calls after with everyone who's going to be in. So we appreciate you guys. We're going to send the replay out via email like we always do. And we're going to do our list of why we're amazing moms today. So use that hashtag #UnstuckMom. Let's spread the wildfire after this inspiring class.
Yes, we love you guys. Thank you.
Bye, guys.